Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Colorado Rockies franchise. Now, last episode, we have really looked at this team in a different way. I think that hitting has been the issue so far. I never thought I would say that, but just looking at our averages here, Raimel Tapia's hitting below 200, CJ Cron's hitting below 200, Josh Fuentes hitting below 200. I think we definitely need a change here early on. I think the alarms are ringing already. Jonathan Dazza does come off of the bench, but I'm going to have to try him in the starting lineup because he's hitting 375 off the bench. And early on, I am not seeing enough from Dillard, and I'm not seeing enough from other guys, or Hilliard. I'm not seeing enough from guys like Tapia, guys like, you know, everybody. It seems like Josh Fuentes was a guy that I thought that would be one of our star players in this series. It doesn't seem that way in the first, 16 games of the season. But looking at our depth chart here, a lot of you guys have asked about that, and I want to show you guys what this looks like, but I'm not going to reveal all the prospects here in this video. It will be next episode where I go over the league-wide prospects as well as our AA and single A prospects as well. But I do want to show you Zach Veen. He is the #1 overall prospect. In 2 years, he's expected to probably be at the MLB level at 75 overall. Then he'll go up to 79. At A potential, he's got a whole lot of it. He's a #1 prospect by far. Now, Brendan Rodgers is a big prospect of ours at shortstop. But as we go farther into the future, we start to 2025, look who pops up. It's Zion Storm. If you missed the prologue of this series, go check that out. Zion Storm story. He was once a basketball player, now converted over to the minors, and he still has a ways to go. He is at single A this year, so we won't see him play at action at all this year. So let's just hop back into the MLB level of play and take a look at Dazza in his first start here as we give him the start versus Justin Verlander, a tough task early on. So here's Dazza here in his first 2 at-bats, swinging and missing. And he already struck out on the first at-bat. This is a 3-2 count, another strikeout. Dazza has 2 in his debut. Let's see if he can clean it up here in his third at-bat. He's 0 for 2 so far. The 87th pitch of the game is going to be an inside fastball, and he's just going to get enough on that one. That one will drop in front of right field. I definitely need a spark on the offensive side of the ball. As you just see, it's 5-0 here. We go on to lose this game 5-0, and we only had 5 hits. That's just the inconsistency I'm seeing so far with this team. Like I said, it's not really the pitching, it's the hitting. Raimel Tapia, 1 for 4. He can kind of continues to struggle this year, hitting below 200. Josh Fuentes is nowhere to be found as well. I think we're going to have to make a change at third base pretty soon. Ryan McMahon can play third base, but Josh Fuentes continues to struggle. Playing against Philadelphia, he did go 2 for 3 though, but still hitting 196 along with Cron. I'm going to have to change the lineup coming up here. He is 0 for 4 in this game, and then he follows that up going 0 for 5 versus Arizona in a 7-3 win nonetheless, but thanks to Trevor Story, who went 3-5. He's 3-4-5. He's even hitting 215. I mean, just crazy. Our offense is just lacking confidence at the moment. So what we decide to do is go to our lineup here, and we decide to switch it up. We put CJ Cron on the bench. We definitely just need to let him sit. Maybe even move him down to AAA just to get his confidence going, because right now he just doesn't have it right now. Hitting below 200, I can't afford to have that in the lineup anymore. And I definitely thought coming into the season that he would be a guy that I could depend on. So I end up actually giving Fuentes more of a shot here, keeping him at third base. I move Ryan McMahon over to first. But now I start to look at who do we have coming up next. We looked at Dazza a little bit, but now Jonathan Dazza, I should say. I am messing up everybody's name this episode. But then I want to look at our shortstops. Tyson Garraway and Brendan Rodgers, the future of that shortstop position. I have no idea who's going to take that over, because Brendan Rodgers has a potential, but he hasn't shown that he can really be that future, and he's not that great defensively as well. So let's do a quick checkup on those two guys, as here is Brendan Rodgers starting out the game versus Jimmy Nelson in the Oklahoma City Dodgers. He started out with a leadoff single to the right side. Garraway hits right behind him. Let's see what he does here from the left side of the plate. He hits one up the middle. He had good contact on that one, but it is just a routine pop-up to center field. Next up at the plate is Gregory Teshera, the power-hitting left-hander. He can play every outfield position as well as first base. So let's see what he does here. He's hitting .269, leading our team in home runs here at the AAA level for the Isotopes. He gets one low, and this one is crushed over the right field wall. It's a home run, 407 feet. That is his 7th home run of the season. And we're about 20 games in at this point at AAA, and he is just impressive. I highlighted him last episode. My capture card messed up, but he did have a 2 home run game, and now he hits his 7th of the year. So watch out for Gregory Teshera. He's a guy to look out for. He's beat potential, can play the outfield. And now we look at Garraway and Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers draws the walk. Here is Garraway at the plate for his 3rd at-bat. He already has a hit in this game. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Men on second and first, and that one will just be a flare to shortstop, and it will be caught. But I just want to take a look at those 2 guys and just check in on them. I love what I see from Teshera. I think our future is okay. I don't think we have a bad farm system right now. I think we have just a decent one, but we have some interesting pieces. Teshera, Garraway, and also Brendan Rodgers are 3 to remember. So back to the MLB level, we actually start out the season 12-19, splitting the month of May to start it out, including an 11-6 offensive explosion versus San Francisco. They are 17-14 to start this year. But how about Dazza? He hit leadoff this game. He went 2 for 5 with 2 runs as well. Blackmon 2 for 5. He continues to hit really well. He's hitting .295 this year. And then we get into a matchup that we've been looking for. Sitting here 7.5 games behind first place. We are falling quickly. And it was much expected. This is one of the toughest divisions in baseball right now with the Padres and the Dodgers. But our offense, like I highlighted before, has continued to struggle. Blackmon seems the only one to be doing well so far in offense. Other than that, not really too much. Trevor Story is the only guy close to having a 300 on-base percentage. Charlie Blackmon, 380. But besides that, we're pretty much in the bottom half of the league in both categories. Now, one move I could be making soon is bringing up Derek Rodriguez. I wanted to see what he had in AAA, and he is impressive. .94 whip, about a 2.14 ERA, and he looks very, very good. I'm hoping that maybe even moving him up into the rotation could give us a spark. So now we go up against the Cardinals at Busch Field. And who will we face? Nolan Arenado in the first game that we will face him as a Cardinal. Let's see how this one goes. So on the mound for us will be John Gray, but look at his stats. I mean, just impressive. 110 whip, 1.98 ERA. Through 6 starts, he's 2-3. We need the run support. Let's get him a win this game. So here comes Garrett Hampson to lead off the game versus Martinez, and he swings and misses at an outside slider. And Martinez starts the game out with a strikeout. That brings up Trevor Story, who's hitting low in the 200s, but he does start out this game with a hit up the middle, and that one will skip through and bring up Charlie Blackmon. 1-2 count with a man on first base. He gets a pitch on the left side of the plate, and he swings and misses. The heat was there, 95 mile an hour on the gun. As that brings up the new 4-hitter Ryan McMahon, starting at first base this game. High pitch in the zone, and he goes with it and drives it over the right field wall. It's a home run. Ryan McMahon is definitely going to be a guy that's going to have to step up now. He's going to get more playing time, especially with the struggles of Josh Fuentes and CJ Cron. But I believe in Ryan McMahon. He's still young, in his mid-20s. I think that he can be a guy that can show us some things and maybe even open some eyes with our organization and the GM. But Dazza does come up, and he strikes out on the low pitch, but a good start to this game. So let's see what John Gray has on the mound, who was once yielded as one of the best pitching prospects, I'd say, in Rockies history, as he is facing a very tough St. Louis lineup. Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt, and Paul DeJong all in the middle. That's a very, very 3-4-5. So that's going to bring up Nolan to the plate for his first at-bat versus former team. It's going to be a hit to the right side. And that one will start it out with a single for Arenado. Guys on first and third for the Cardinals. One out here is that's going to bring up Paul Goldschmidt, who is very, very good this year, hitting .314. 15th pitch is on the way. It's a ground ball to Trevor Story, flip to second, and on to first. Garrett Hampson turns the double play, and we get out of that first inning, no damage done. So Paul DeJong at the plate, he's hitting .216 on the year. He goes with that one to the right center gap. That one gets all the way to the wall. Charlie Blackmon will come up throwing to the cutoff man. It's a leadoff double here in the second. And I think I'm pretty worried about this Cardinals middle of the lineup. They can produce runs better than most teams can in the league. Here's Dylan Carlson at the plate, and he legs that one out. Trevor Story, with 2 outs, could not get out of that inning, and 1 run will come across the plate. That brings up Martinez, the pitcher, who comes up and hits a line shot to left, and that one will be caught. And they trim this lead down to just 1. That brings up Trevor Story here in the top of the third inning with 2 outs, and he does get a walk, which brings up Charlie Blackmon, our hottest hitter on the team. And with the man on first, 2-1 count, he's going to get a good pitch here right over the plates, and he belts it over the right field wall. That one is gone. The second homer of the game for the Rockies, and Blackmon does not miss on pitches over the plate. You saw his hitting zones. They're all red, and it's 4-1. A nice little cushion here for John Gray on the mound. So on to the third inning. This time is going to be a pop-up with men in scoring positions for the Cardinals. And John Gray is through 3 innings, only 1 run given up. So on to the top of the fourth inning now. Here is Jonathan Dazza, who just got inserted into the starting lineup a couple of games ago. He starts out this inning with a hit to center field. So Dazza has about 83 speed. He's a guy that could swipe some bags for us. Here is Elias Diaz at the plate. An inside pitch that's going to be ball 4. So good start to this inning. That brings up Josh Fuentes, who has absolutely struggled so far. And he hits a fly ball to left field. 1 out in the inning. As that brings up Raimel Tapia to the plate. The center fielder has struggled as well. He hits one to the right side. And that one's going to be an off throw by Paul Goldschmidt at first base. And DeJong can't handle it. And now it's bases loaded, 1 out. So the manager comes out, and he's seen enough from Carlos Martinez. That's going to bring Adam Wainwright out of the bullpen. Can you believe he's appeared in 20 games so far? We're only 30 games into the season. That's way too many games for him to come out of the bullpen for. So that brings up John Gray to the plate. He hits one hard up the middle. And that one ricochets off of Wainwright. He goes to first with that one. But a runner does come across the plate, 5-1. And it looks like the catcher will check up on Wainwright. That was Molina out there. But he does stay in the game as he faces Garrett Hampson. And Hampson does swing at a bad pitch out of the zone. So 5-1 lead here for the Rockies as that brings up Nolan Arenado once again to the plate. And another hit for him. We know how good of a hitter he is as he does get his second hit of the game here in the 6th inning. And that starts him out with a double here with no outs. Paul Goldschmidt at the plate now in that 4 spot. Hits one deep to center. That's Raimel Tapia under this one. And he's going to come up throwing as Arenado with 14 speed will make it. Now that's one thing that I don't like about Tapia. He does not have a strong arm at all in center field. So that brings up Paul DeJong. And we do get through the 4 and 5 hitters in this lineup. The 2 guys that I was worried about the most besides Arenado. Tyler O'Neill to the plate now, 0 for 2 in this game. But John Gray misses his spot and leaves one right over the middle of the plate. And the guy that we expected the least to do some damage here hits his 4th home run of the season. Tyler O'Neill brings it within a 2-run game. So that's going to bring in Michael Gibbons out of the bullpen here in the bottom of the 7th now. A still 5-3 lead. and he gives up a hit up the middle. So with 1 out, the Cardinals started out with a man on first. The top of the order back at the plate here. This is Tommy Edmond, who was 1 for 2 in the leadoff spot. And high heat, that one does miss the zone. Men on first and second now. Lane Thomas at the plate, 0 for 3. And he hits the one to left field. That one is another base runner for the Cardinals. 1 out in the lineup you don't want up. It's Arenado, Goldschmidt, and also Paul DeJong. 3-2 count with 1 out. Arenado hits one to center field. That one will be caught by Tapia coming up, throwing though, and the throw will be offline. He wouldn't have got him anyway. And now it's a 1-run ball game here in the 7th inning. So Arenado has definitely done the damage so far. Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. He is 0 for 3. And Diaz cannot handle that outside slider, and he drops it, and both runners advance. So Paul Goldschmidt continues his at-bat here. Inside slider, and he misses. And Gibbons does get us out of this inning. But St. Louis has been creeping back all game long. After a 5-1 lead, we cannot blow it here in the 8th inning. Ryan McMahon to the plate now. Remember, he had that home run earlier, and he starts it out with another single up the middle. That one will move the runner over to third base with Blackmon sliding in safely. And now men on the corners here, no outs. Dazza to the plate now. He's hitting the ball pretty well, and this one is going to be a fly ball to left field. We're going to tag up Blackmon on this one. He's got 46 speed. The throw will be on line, and Blackmon is safe. Another run of insurance added. It's now 6-4 for the Rockies. As here comes Elias Diaz to the plate, who's not hitting too bad, but he swings and misses at that low sinker. Andrew Miller strikes him out. Josh Fuentes, can he finally get going? Check swing on the inside, and that is going to be strike 3. And Miller fools Fuentes on that pitch. On to the bottom of the 8th inning now. Here's Yadier Molina at the plate. He goes to opposite field, and he will start this out with the single. And now they have men on first base and second. 1 out here in this inning. That brings up Dylan Carlson to the plate, who hits one up the middle. It's a ground ball to Story, and Story cannot get it. That one gets past his glove, and a run will come in. 6-5 here in the 8th, as that one should have been a tailor-made double play. Ali Sanchez to the plate here to pinch hit for the pitcher. Ground ball back up the box. It's going to be the 2-1 and a double play. So 1-run lead here. Can our offense add some insurance in the 9th inning? This is Jordan Hicks, the flamethrower, out of the bullpen for the Cardinals. Facing Tapia. Hit to the left side, and the throw is offline. Nolan Arenado, you don't see that every day. The Gold Glover cannot get the out at first. He's credited with the error. That brings in Sam Hilliard. He's going to pinch hit now. He hits one to short. Throw in the second on the first, and Hilliard has about 93 speed. He beats out the double play. Story at the plate now. He is 1 for 3 in this game, still facing Jordan Hicks. His 16th pitch of the game, and it's just going to be a fly ball. He barely missed that one, and it stays in the yard. We move on to the bottom of the 9th. Scott Olberg comes to the mound. 6 opportunities, 5 saves on the season, and let's see if he can get it done here. First batter is Tommy Edmond, and the leadoff batter for the Cardinals starts it out with a single up the middle, and this is the part of the lineup you just do not want to face. Lane Thomas, 1 for 4 in this game. He's going to lay down a bunt. This one's up in the air, and it looks like the runner had a good jump on that one. He must have known that it wasn't going to hit the ground, and he gets into second safe, I should say. So here is Nolan Arenado. He comes to the plate, and we finally get him to hit a weak ball on that one. It's now 1 out in this inning. We should have went to first on that bunt. This one could have been 2 outs in this inning. And now that brings up Paul DeJong as we do walk Goldschmidt into DeJong. What a situation this is. And he does face a 3-2 count now after the outside ball. Brings it full. Scott Olberg pitches on and inside. He walks in a run here in the bottom of the 9th. There's still 1 out. So 2-2 count to Tyler O'Neill, who went deep earlier, and he watches that one on the outside. It's now a 3-2 count. He's got to throw one over the plate. He does. It's a fly ball to Tapia. He's going to have to come up throwing, and let's see what he does. The throw home, and it's not going to be in time. Thomas comes in to score, and the Cardinals come back after being down 5-1 in this game. Our pitching cannot get it done. We made a couple of fielding mistakes as well. That bunt, throwing that to second, was definitely a big one. And then how did Trevor Story miss that ground ball up the middle? That one was an easy double play. And I think that game was kind of telling. You know, a guy like Tapia in center field, we need a better arm out there. I think that's going to be a big issue for us going forward. I like Tapia a lot, but he's also struggling at the plate. I think we need to make some moves here. Moving him down, getting him some work at AAA. We need to get his confidence going. Even a guy like CJ Cron, we might have to get him down to AAA, get his confidence going. Because right now we're sliding quickly, 12-20, and we're not even going to be close to competing for the playoffs at the rate that we're going. We knew this would be a rebuild, but I didn't expect our offense to be this bad. I think that that's going to be a huge priority for us now. And now we're going to start to look at some trades and start to look at people around the league, who's interested in Story. And we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next episode, we will reveal the prospects. So you don't want to miss that episode. You'll see all the prospects in our system and around the league. And you will see your own subscriber recruits, over 150 plus of them as well. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Bad start for the Rockies, but I'd say we have some interesting pieces. And I say interesting, might not be good, might not be bad. We'll have to see. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side. This how we slide. This how we ride. Yeah, this how we ride.